Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Unwanted Mind podcast. This is episode 28. Very excited to get right into this podcast. Has been so much news that has been going on during the week, during the last time I posted a podcast, which was last Wednesday. And I plan to post this Wednesday, obviously. There just has been so much news, and I'm very excited to get into all of it. It's all kinds of news. As far as like music, YouTubers, upcoming fights, upcoming albums. There's so much, and I just make sure you guys are tuned in throughout the whole podcast so you get the full scoop of everything that has been, reported, and things that you may have missed on the internet, because it's easy to fall track of everything that's been posted, because there's just so much of it, so it's so easy to miss out on stuff. So I'll make sure that I give you all the information and topics that you've missed during this past week. So yeah, let's get right into it. So last week I tried out a new format on which, because if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, I recommend you watch that. I'll still explain it right now, but I do recommend you watch that because it's one of my best podcasts in my opinion. I literally talked about every topic, and it was just so easy, and it felt so great doing that. So the new format that I'm doing is that I'll talk about the big topics towards the end of the podcast, because usually that usually takes up a lot of time if I start off with it, and I really want to get through everything, right, through all the topics that I have listed down. So that's why I put them towards the end. So I'm aware that, I only have this amount of time left, so I have to get through the topics quickly. And it's been easier for me. So I start off with the small topics, then, like the middle, medium ones, and then I go to the big ones. And the big ones are the one in this title, right? Like I'm just going to list off the topics right now. So the first topic, so I'm going big to small, like by listing them down. First one, we got Mr.Beast opens up his first restaurant. Yes, sir, indeed. A YouTuber finally opening up a restaurant. That's crazy. That's just, it shows you. A lot of people say, YouTube is a horrible job. Like, it's just boring. You just record videos, blah, blah, blah. Bro, it all depends on how you utilize it, right? And obviously Mr.Beast has made an incredible impact on YouTube, and just the way he does stuff so differently apart from everyone. Just crazy, you know what I mean? You love to see it, right? Next topic, we have J.Cole on the cover of NBA 2K23. That's crazy. That's also insane. J.Cole on the cover, a rapper on the cover of an NBA 2K cover. This is a limited, not limited edition, but it's like a different edition. So that, so it's not the official cover. It is the official cover because there's only two covers, but it's not the main game. It's like the J. Cole edition. I believe Travis Scott had that. He had something like that. I think, if I recall correctly, it's probably 2K18. I could be wrong though, so don't take my word for it. But I do remember Travis Scott having one. And also another topic, we have Ye's Instagram post. So if you have been caught up with Kanye West's Instagram post, he has been going ham once again, posting a lot of information. I'm not gonna say crazy stuff, because it's all it's all with reasoning. So I can't really say it's necessarily crazy what he's doing. It's just It's when he unleashes, he goes he goes crazy. Like he releases a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much what has been going on. He's just been posting a lot of stuff. A lot of different stuff like family. He's talking about his family, talking about his businesses, like Adidas, Gap, all that. And it's been a lot. He's been calling out a lot of people, a lot of executives. So yeah, but I mean, you kind of expect this from Kanye, right? Like it's not by surprise. And I'm not trying to be mean by saying that or anything, because I'm a huge fan of Kanye, and I feel like a lot of people know that. But he does have a way of doing things on where people do see it as like, whoa, like this is too much. Like, oh, you're a little crazy. I don't see him as crazy. I think he's a genius. I don't think he's like crazy in a bad way, right? I do apologize if I sound some type of way. It's so incredibly hot. So it's kind of like just it's difficult not to recognize that. Okay, so another topic. This is kind of a deeper topic. Bed Bath & Beyond executive dies after jumping off a high roof. Yeah. Just straight up. I'll be talking about that, but I won't talk too much about it because, it's a heavy subject, and I don't really attend this podcast to be touching on heavy stuff. Another Kanye one that I should have probably mixed in with the third one. Kanye said that the song Essence by Tems and Wizkid is the best song in history of music. Yes, he said that. This made big news. People were just in shock, I would say. Because I'm not saying that the song Essence is a bad song, because it's not. It's by far from that, right? It's a great song. It's an amazing song. It's definitely, I don't know what year it came out. Maybe a year ago, 2 years maybe. It was definitely Song of the Year. But, man, you gotta really see where I'm coming from on this, right? There's so many songs out there, right? Legendary, iconic songs that has been out for way longer, and I feel like it has, a greater longevity. I could just name a couple off my head, like Thriller, Bohemian Rhapsody, even Kanye has fucking bangers, Kanye's Stronger, Power, dude, there's a bunch of songs. There's a bunch of songs. And I just feel like I don't know. Essence is definitely up there, but it's best song of all time in history of music. That's wild. I'll be telling you my opinion on what the best song is as well. It will definitely cause a lot of controversy because it's a lot of people will be like, really, that song? The reason why I'm choosing this song is because, it sounds incredible, in my opinion. It has 1 billion views, so it's not like, oh, this is a very hot take. It has 1 billion views on YouTube. It's a great song. Or maybe not 1 billion views. I think it does have 1 billion views, yeah. Around there. And it just makes me feel so good every time I listen to it. I can listen to it on repeat, and I've done that before, and I still didn't get over it. So yeah. Okay, so Megan Thee Stallion. I said this in the last podcast that she joined the MCU. And she made her debut. Megan Thee Stallion made her debut in the MCU on the end credit of She-Hulk. Yeah, she made a big debut. Huge debut. And I'll be getting into that later on in the podcast. Next topic, we have Leonardo DiCaprio breaks up with his girlfriend once she became 25. Wow. For those who don't know, Leonardo DiCaprio does have a, how could I say this? He does have an age preference. And there's literally a chart made of all his girlfriends that he's had throughout his life and their ages, like the age that he broke up with them. And the highest was 25, and people were just seeing that like, oh, I think the chart is wrong because he had this girlfriend, which is his ex now, but he's like, oh, he has a girlfriend, she's already 25, he's still with her, they're still doing strong. Oh, I think it was just some bullshit fans made just to try to expose him or whatever. I mean, I guess I don't know if that's the right word. I mean, 25 is still legal. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's like, do your thing, but it's like, you're kind of old, right? But, and I can't really say much about that because, who knows? When I'm older, I may be the same way, right? But I don't know. It all depends. Personally, I do like older women. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying that much older, maybe a few years older. And just, I don't know. It feels like it's a harder goal to reach, and I feel like if I do reach that, I'm just gonna feel so good about myself on where I can easily pull a girl my age, right? That's how I feel, I feel like it's a bigger accomplishment if I did, but I don't mind if I don't. I'm just saying I feel like it's a better accomplishment, and I don't know, it just feels cool. Obviously, my opinion. But yeah, so Leonardo DiCaprio broke up with his girl once she became 25, or a month after she became 25, for those being like, oh, it wasn't the day of. It's like, okay, it was a month after. So kind of proved I was right. I'll be getting to that later on. Kendrick Lamar released a music video for his song We Cry Together. So I'll be giving a little review of what I thought about the video. YG also announced that he has a new album coming out on September 30th, titled I Got Issues. The cover art you can find on his Instagram or maybe somewhere online. I've checked that out. It looks really dope. Like, the cover looks really dope. I still have yet seen the track list because it has not been released yet. Very excited to see how the track list looks because I fuck with YG, you know what I mean? And he's been gone for a while, so I want to see what he has in store. What he has been creating since the last time he's dropped an album. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about his collab album, because I know he has a collab album with Mozzie, but I want to hear a solo album from him. I want to see what he has to bring, because fuck, dude, he has banger albums. He has iconic albums. I don't remember the name of the album, but it was like him in black and white. It's like he's getting arrested or some shit. I think it was something. I think the cover art was something like that. But it's just so hard. It has that Drake song. It's just so many bangers on that album. I think that might be my favorite YG album. So yeah, I'll be getting to that later as well. Lil Baby also announces his new album releasing on October 14th, titled It's Only Me. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I fucking love Lil Baby. I rock with him. So yeah, I'm very excited for that as well. Lil Yachty also, not an album from Yachty. Fuck, I wish we did. But Lil Yachty announces that he has a new pizza brand, on which it's like Yachty's Pizza or something. Like he's on the box of the pizza, and it's being sold in Walmart. So it's a frozen pizza with Yachty on it, his brand, and it's basically his pizza. People have found it through most Walmarts in America. I've seen some reviews on it. I'll be getting to that later on. The last topic, this has been confirmed today. I wish I put this in the title because I feel like it would have done big numbers. But Jake Paul set to fight Anderson Silva on October 29th. So 2 days before Halloween. That's wild, dude. Dude, I'm not a fan of Jake Paul. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm not a fan of Jake Paul. But fuck, man. I hate to say it, but damn. And the reason why I'm not a fan of Jake Paul is because I don't like his fan base. They're all a bunch of trolls. Jake Paul is a troll himself. I do respect his boxing skills. He's definitely, if it's not KSI, then Jake Paul is the best boxer in the YouTube boxing world. It's obviously up for debate. Obviously, I choose KSI, but it's obviously up for debate, and I understand. Because Jake Paul has more fights and more KOs, and he's definitely looked better in the public eye compared to KSI. So Jake Paul has definitely proven a lot. And dude, yeah, this is a great fight, and a lot of people have been saying this, including Dana White, saying that if Jake Paul chose to fight Anderson Silva, this would be considered a real fight to him, right? Like this would be considered an extremely difficult fight to win, right? For Jake Paul in this case, right? And I do agree with that. I do have Anderson Silva winning, though I know Jake Paul does have that power to win. I've always been a fan of Anderson Silva since I was like a kid, and I remember my dad just taking me to restaurants just to watch his fights whenever he would fight. And dude, he's wow. He's just incredible. And I know he's an MMA fighter, right? I understand that, but he's notorious for having punching power, right? Like he punches a lot. Like if you watch his fights, he punches a lot. I know he kicks. I know he grapples. I know he does all that shit, right? He does everything. He's an MMA fighter. I understand, but his punches are fucking wild, and they'll definitely leave a mark. And especially with 12-ounce gloves or some shit, or 10 ounces, or however they're going, however amount they're going. It's gonna be dope. And Anderson Silva has been boxing for quite a while now, specifically just boxing, not MMA, boxing training. He's been in, I believe, in 3 fights, and he's KO'd all 3 opponents, and they're good opponents, right? He's fought a world heavyweight, and I believe he knocked them out. So he's definitely has that power, and he's definitely a tough competition. He's 46, mind you, right? But even boxing experts are saying that no matter what his age is, which is 46, he's definitely putting up a fight. He's definitely still got it. He's still fucking got it. And it's actually wild to think that, right? Because he's 46 years old. You would think that someone of that age would retire, would, be focusing on other, streams of income, you're at that fucking level. We're talking about Anderson Silva. You're telling me that he has no other streams of income where he can get money from? Dude, obviously he has so many opportunities. He has so many sponsorships. He can easily get money from other places, but, there's a line where people don't understand, because they're always saying, oh, they do it for money. They do it for this, that, right? But when it comes to Anderson Silva, he doesn't do it for the money. Obviously, the money is an amazing perk, right? Because when you're putting yourself on you're putting your life on the line, you're fighting in the ring. Obviously, you want to get some other benefit than just winning, right? So obviously, it's a great perk. But for the most part, he's doing this for the love of the game. You know what I mean? He just loves fighting. He loves to do what he does. He doesn't care about. I'm sure he cares about the risk, but he's still doing it, right? He doesn't have to, but he's still doing it because he just loves the sport that much. And I feel like someone like that, you just got to respect, you know what I mean? Regardless of the outcome, regardless of his record, you just got to respect this guy for what he has brought to the MMA, sport. And, the amount of fans that he has brought in is fucking wild, man. Because I feel like if it wasn't for him, I really wouldn't be too much of a fan of the MMA. Because I was especially at a young age, I wasn't really aware of most fighters. I only knew of him because I knew at that time he was the best, So, I feel like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't really be putting attention. Because, there's match cards. And you have to wait for the main event, right? And obviously, he was always the main event. So I would be watching, the beginning fights, leading up to the main event. And because of that, I had to remember these names, right? I remember these names because I would like watch his cards quite oftenly, and so I would just be put on by more. I would be put on more fighters and stuff, and I became even more in love with it because I was rooting for certain fighters that I think would win and thought were good. So I got fully indulged in the sport, and it's very exciting. So with that being said, Jake Paul taking up the fight with Anderson Silva. That's gonna be wild. We have about a month and a half, I would say, to prepare for this. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Definitely, prepare a party or some shit. Definitely get some snacks or some shit, bro. Cause this is gonna be one hell of a fucking fight. Especially if Jake Paul loses. I mean, if Jake Paul loses, it's over. It's over. No one's gonna be like, oh, Jake Paul is the best. Like, they're like, oh, he's got exposed. He's actually ass. You know what I mean? But if Jake Paul beats Anderson Silva, that's gonna do a lot for Jake Paul. I don't think that really would take away from Anderson Silva's legacy, but this will do fucking numbers for Jake Paul. People will be like, oh shit, he's really that guy. You know what I mean? He's really that guy. So, I started off with this, I was going to talk about this later on, but hey, I talked about it. I got indulged in it. So, yeah, man, that pretty much is it with that topic. Let me get right into the next topic. Let me talk about Lil Yachty and his pizza brand. You know what I mean? Lil Yachty and his pizza brand. I feel like that's dope for rap. I don't know if people have heard of this, but there's something called rap snacks, which is it's like chips with rappers on it, like certain rappers on it. Basically, it's like their favorite type of chip or flavor of chip. Cardi B has one, Migos has one, Lil Yachty also has one. So Lil Yachty, he's not new to this food, business things. He has a name in it already. So I feel like shit like this, people may cringe over. People may make fun of it because like, oh my god, Lil Yachty on a pizza? Like, what the fuck? Like, he doesn't know pizza. Who is this guy? Right? The way I see it, I see it as like, this is dope for hip-hop in general, right? Because it's showing rappers and it's showing a lot of hip-hop artists that it's more than just music, right? Like, there's like, you do the music thing, you fall in love with it, you become good at it, you do numbers on it. That's cool. But a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people know now, but I feel like a lot of people back then didn't really understand the opportunities and a bunch of other shit that comes with doing good in the music, right? Because there's so many businesses that open up that you probably never thought of doing. I'm sure Yachty didn't think of doing this shit. But, once you become a big name in music, you have to get a manager, you have to get a team that helps you out, do other shit, make more money. And that's dope. Lil Yachty's taking his chances, and, I'm sure his fans are excited about this, Imagine, being a fan of Lil Yachty and knowing that he has his own pizza brand. That'd be sick. That's sick as fuck. Excuse me. So you just gotta respect it. I don't understand how people could be a hater about this. Like, I've seen some reviews on his pizza, and people were saying it's good. People were saying that it tastes like a pizza, right? Like it tastes good. Like, it's not bad. I mean, it's a frozen pizza, so take that with mine, right? So it's not gonna be like, oh my god, it's just like, oh, it's fresh out the oven. Like, all right, so don't be too crazy about it. But dude, I mean, it's like, it's the product that counts, right? Like, the fact that they went through all that shit and finally got it in stores, it's crazy, It's crazy that they've actually managed to put this out. Like, it's actually a physical thing. You can purchase it at Walmart or other grocery stores, that's crazy, and that's not easy to do. You have to know people in order to put your product in their store. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people go to Shark Tank, because a lot of people don't have those connections, and they have to introduce their product to the sharks on Shark Tank, for them to buy their product and put it in stores. Lori is a big person to do that. She has a lot of connections. She can put your product on TV. She can introduce it on TV. She can get people to buy it on TV. She can put it on a bunch of other stores. Like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, whatever. I don't know if Lil Yachty's pizza would do good in Whole Foods. Let's just keep it real. I don't know if that shit's fucking organic or vegan or fucking gluten free. It's probably the exact opposite. It just has a shit ton of more gluten and shit. But hey, man, if it sells, it sells. You can't say shit, Just maybe read the fucking ingredients, read the calories and the macros on the back of the shit. Yeah, man, but it's dope seeing that Yachty is doing more shit like this. Hopefully this doesn't slow down his music releasing. Like, I still want him to release music. This is dope that he has these side businesses, but I hope he still releases music, right? Because I really fucked with Michigan Boat. For me, that was one of my favorite projects from him. It went so crazy. The beats were crazy. His flow and the lyrics that he fucking says, it's just, I've never heard him say any shit like that before, and he just kept it so real, and that's why I liked it. He just kept shit real, right? And he just barred up so much. But yeah, man, let's get right into the next topic. Alright, so for the next topic that we have for today, we have Lil Baby announcing his album It's Only Me. That's dope, I feel like Lil Baby, he has been pretty consistent in dropping albums, and it's dope because for an artist like that, that's like, I wouldn't say he's an upcoming artist, he's definitely not that. But, for an artist that's trying to build his name even bigger and trying to really be up there with the GOATs, I feel like he's doing good, because he's releasing albums. The albums are doing good. There's bangers on the fucking album. This is dope, he definitely knows what the fuck he's doing. He definitely knows what the people want. So hopefully this track list has great features. I'm sure it will. I'm sure we'll have solo songs of him and just killing the fucking track, Yeah, man. Let's just see what he brings. What he brings new to the table. You know what I mean? Like, let's see if he does any new shit that will get people hyped and just excited. Because I feel like a lot of people say that he sounds generic. He sounds the same on every song. Let's see if he brings something new to the table, right? Like, I'm excited for whatever he brings, right? I'm still going to listen to it regardless, but let's see if he can switch it up, or let's just see how he approaches this album. On the album cover, he has released album cover art. It shows him at different ages, different points of life. On Mount Rushmore, so there's a baby version of him, there's a kid version, there's like a young adult version, and there's like a teenage version, there's the young adult version of him, just his head on the Mount Rushmore, basically implying that he is the GOAT. There's no discussion, there's no conversation of who's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. And a lot of people, they're going to make fun of it. They're going to call it cringe. But, dude, that's the mentality. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that. That's how you're supposed to think. You're supposed to feel like, bro, I'm the greatest. No one can touch me. You have to feel that way. Otherwise, you won't really make it far in this game. And I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm just going to tell you straight up. You won't make it far in this game if you don't believe that you are the best. And fully believe it, right? That's the point where you say it so much, people are just like, all right, dude, that's enough. Like I always hear you saying this. You know what I mean? You have to fully believe this, bro. I don't care if fucking Jay-Z's out, if Lil Wayne's, on the list, J.Cole, Kendrick. I don't give a fuck. You gotta put yourself with those people. And Lil Baby is definitely building his name to reach that, right? I'm not saying he's there. Don't get me twisted. I'm not saying that he's up there yet. But he's definitely doing what it takes to be up there. So you have to respect this, man. You genuinely have to respect the grind and the hustle, right? What else do we got? We got YG. YG also announcing his new album, I Got Issues, which will be released on September 30th. That is dope as well. That is really dope. I fuck with YG. YG definitely is a big name in hip hop, and he definitely deserves the credit that he deserves. Because he has so many bangers. Especially a banger of a song that I can't say. Otherwise I'd be canceled. But that might be my favorite YG song. You know what I mean? Just the one with Jeezy. You know which one I'm talking about. Just everything about that song is cold. The beat is insane. Like, it feels like some sinister shit. The flow, the bars, the melody. Like, bro, that song is iconic. And it's the reason why it's definitely up there as one of his best songs. For me, his best song, But obviously, that's up for discussion because he has so many bangers. So let's see what he brings to this new album, right? Like Lil Baby, let's see what he brings to this new album. Let's see if he still has that, power of dropping, bangers, Let's see if he still has that in him, because I know he's been in the game for a while, and I do understand that it could be difficult to keep constantly releasing great music, bangers, because, you've done this for so long, it's just like, how many more can I do, so let's see if he has that potential. I'm sure he does, and I know he does, right? But, one thing is saying it, and one thing is actually, hearing that in his music. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it is, What else do we got? We got Kendrick Lamar. He dropped a music video for his song We Cried Together on the album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. We Cried Together is one of my favorite songs in the album. I wouldn't say my favorite song because it's one of those songs where you listen to it occasionally. It's definitely not a song that you'll listen to every day unless, you've got relationship issues and you really, But it's definitely like a movie, right? It's like a movie song that, what I mean by that, it's like, I feel like when I'm listening to it, I feel like I'm listening to a clip in a movie or some shit, like some scene where they're arguing and shit. And I definitely get the visual for that when I listen to it. So it was only right for him to release the music video, right? So yeah, the song was dope. I really fuck with the song. But as far as the music video was exactly how I pictured it. Like them in a small house, just like arguing with each other, like walking around, pacing back and forth, or walking around in the room, just arguing at each other, screaming at each other, really just like, really just not in a good mood and just arguing with each other, right? Like, that's exactly how I pictured it. But the color grading on this video was amazing. The whole aesthetic on this video was amazing. The acting, dude. It's just like, Kendrick Lamar's a rapper, bro. But he's so much more than that at the same time. Like, he knows how to act. He's so great at acting. The other girl as well, I believe her name is Taylor Page, something like that. She's outstanding on the acting skills as well. Her part in the song stands out so much. It's super great. It connects perfectly with the song concept, and just, it's just, it all makes sense, right? So seeing them in this video was just like, it was so great, you know. There was a part in the video towards the end where they do fuck, and I just didn't understand how YouTube allowed that on YouTube. Like, I'm not saying I'm like, oh my god, this is gross to watch. Like I'm not saying that, but like, I didn't know YouTube allowed, you know, seeing titty and, you know, a guy fucking a girl, you know, allowed on YouTube. Like, it wasn't even age restricted, you know, or maybe it was, but you know, my account is obviously of age, so maybe they allowed me to watch it. I think if you were to watch it on a younger account, if we were under the age of 18, maybe it would have been like, oh, you can't watch this or whatever. But it's just, I didn't know they allowed shit like that. Maybe they gave it a pass because it was Kendrick. I have no idea, but you saw Kendrick fucking, you know, that girl Taylor, and it was so, it just caught me so off guard, you know, because I knew it was in the song. I knew that happened in the song. I just didn't know it would like be that graphic, you know. You know, but overall, this video was pretty dope. You know, it was definitely, it was definitely made perfectly for that song. You know, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm not a big fan of this album, and I hate to say it because I love Kendrick Lamar, right? But I'm not a big fan of this album. I think this may be his worst album, and obviously that's saying a lot because he has banger albums, and his worst album still tops a lot of artists' best albums. So that says a lot as well. But I'm not saying that there isn't dope songs of this album, because there's definitely dope songs. You know, I love Rich Spirit. I love N95. You know, I love Auntie Diaries. You know, I love that song with Blast. There's a lot of great songs, but I feel like overall as an album, it just doesn't have that many bangers, and I feel like, I don't know. I don't know, because I work out a lot, so I feel like the way I see music now is just like, is this gonna sound good at the gym, or is this gonna hype me up? And I feel like this album doesn't do it for me. Apart from N95, that one definitely does it for me. But I feel like it's kind of, you know, like, I wouldn't say messed up my view, but because I can still respect music, certain songs, like, you know, some Billie Eilish songs where it's like incredibly slow, but it's like you can like listen to it and just feel good. I can still do stuff like that. It's just like when I'm at certain places, you know, like you know, like the gym or something, or even in public, I really don't want to be listening to the song, because I feel like, for me personally, it puts me a little down, and I want to be in a joyous, you know, energetic mood, and I feel like it doesn't put me there. So for those reasons, you know, I don't really listen to much of his music in general. I listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly his big ones and his ones that are like energetic, right? And this goes with a lot of artists as well. So it's not just Kendrick. It's not me just bashing on Kendrick. It goes with a lot of artists as well. Even Kanye West. So, you know, just saying. So yeah, let me get right on the next topic. So next topic, we have Leonardo DiCaprio breaking up with his girlfriend once she became 25. I did talk about this. I think I basically broke it down in the beginning of the podcast, where I said that he only dates girls 25 and under, right? Like, once they pass the 25 age limit, they're basically expired to him, right? They're like rotten. They're like nasty, right? Like, he wants them fresh. I hate describing girls like that, but this is him, right? This is how Leonardo DiCaprio sees women, right? He wants a fresh woman. But it's like, it's actually crazy that that this is a real theory. You know what I mean? Like, he really dates women that are 25 and under. Like, there's no women that he's ever dated that was like at least 26, right? Like, that is so crazy. And I'm not saying that he's the P word. He's not. I know he's not, But it's so weird, bro, that you only date young girls. And I get that's your preference. I understand that, right? But it's like, not even a 30-year-old, not even like I don't know. It's just like, okay, so let me break it down. So maybe he hasn't dated an older woman, but he has been with and got down with an older woman, right? Maybe not dated, but he messed around. I'm doing my best to try to defend this guy, because like, I don't know if we're painting him as the right way, you know what I mean? But I don't know, maybe he just fucks with younger girls that are of age. And I want to make that clear before I fucking get I mean, I'm not big enough to get sued yet, but you never know, I might get sued for fucking defamation, being like, oh, he Frank said that he only dates younger girls of age, and I'm putting that in fucking, and I'm emphasizing that, it of age, you know what I mean? Younger girls of age, But yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up, See it how you want, Me personally, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I see why it could be argued that it is weird, but I mean, 25 is legal, so it's whatever, I guess. Even 18 is legal, even though I would consider 18 to be weirder than dating a 25-year-old. But regardless, it is still legal, so say what you want about it. You're right to have your opinion about it, but it's legal, so yeah, so let's get on to the next topic. So for the next topic for today, we have Megan Thee Stallion finally makes her debut on She-Hulk. If you haven't watched She-Hulk, I don't know. I haven't watched it either, so I really can't recommend you to watch it. But I mean, if you're into Marvel stuff, and if you're into that whole Marvel universe, and you want to, keep up with the lore, I do recommend you watch it. I am a big fan of Marvel, and I do want to keep up with the lore. I do watch, breakdown videos from channels like New Rockstars or Comic Book Cast 2 that break down each of the episodes, so I don't have to watch it. But I see clips from time to time, just just keep up with what's going on. But Megan Thee Stallion makes her debut last week, and this has gone controversial. Not for the reasons why you may think. She has gone controversial, not because she was in the show, not because she rapped on the show. No, not for those reasons. The reason why she became controversial and viral pretty much on this show is because she was doing her thing, if you know what I mean. Okay, she was twerking on She-Hulk, and she was teaching She-Hulk how to twerk too, and She-Hulk was also twerking on the show. And Twitter, you fucking guessed right, was having a field day, with this clip. They were just saying, I mean, all the comments were like, MCU has, made a huge downfall. This is the downfall of the MCU. And, it's hard to disagree with that. It's very hard to disagree with that, It was just so bad. It was so cringe to see that. Like, why the fuck are they twerking on the show? And I get the show is supposed to be funny. I get it. I'm not trying to be a fucking party downer or whatever, party pooper. But it's just, dude, I mean, I just don't understand why you have to incorporate real life shit to shows like this. Like, why can't it just be its own thing, right? Why do you have to fucking throw in the nay? Why do you have to fucking throw in some dabs? And people are saying, oh, you're misogynistic because, you know, you don't want to see a woman twerking on the show. It's not even that, bro. It's just like, dude, it could be anyone. If fucking, what's his name? Tom Holland fucking started twerking or some shit, I would have been like, what the fuck? It would just be so random, dude. Like, even if they included, like, the dab or him hitting the nay or fucking hitting the gritty, it would be cringe regardless. It would be at the same level, right? So it's just, in this case, it just happened to be them twerking on the show, and it was just so fucking weird. And, you know, it is what it is, but a lot of people have became, you know, have lost being a fan of Marvel because of, you know, of this and other shit, right? This just piled up. You know, the Thor movie was pretty shit, and people were saying Multiverse of Madness was shit. People were saying Far From No Way Home was shit, you know. So it's just overall piled up, and this pretty much was the cherry on top, and made a lot of people being like, you know what, dude, I'm done. I can't keep defending this shit. It's over. In my case, I still have a little left in the tank, but I can't lie. It is running out a bit. It definitely is running out a bit. And it sucks because there's really no other alternatives. Because DC is way worse than Marvel. You know, so it's not like, oh, I'm not a fan of Marvel, and let me become a DC fan. It's not even that. Because DC is way worse regardless of what Marvel puts out. Marvel can put out the most cringe shit, and DC is still by far the worst. So, you know, if you're not a fan of Marvel anymore, you're basically not a fan of anything now. Like, you're not a fan of any superhero shit anymore. You're just done with the whole superhero franchise shit. So, you know, and that's why I'm holding on a little tight, because, you know, I'm excited for what Marvel has to bring, you know, as far as new shit. It just sucks, because imagine being like a Marvel reporter, like New Rockstars or like Comic Book Cast 2, and then you have to report shit like this. It's just, for me, dude, that would suck so bad, because, like, you know, you have to report bad news like this, because it's just like, I feel like you get so frustrated because, you know, you're such a huge fan, but Marvel just constantly disappoints you, that you just have to be talking about other theories that people are saying. Otherwise, if you were like caught up with everything Marvel has been releasing, you'd automatically be like, you would automatically not be a fan anymore. So I feel like you have to go into theories being like, oh, maybe Wolverine's coming back. Like, make videos about that. Otherwise, you'd be fucking tired. You know, you would be like, oh, Megan Thee Stallion twerks on She-Hulk. Like, so yeah, man. That pretty much sums it up. So next one is heavier topic. I don't know if I really want to talk about this. So the executive of Bed Bath & Beyond, you know, commits suicide. He jumps off a roof. Reason being he did that is because I feel like I think they said he had some debt he had to pay or some shit, and if he was alive, it would pass on to his family because it was so much. And the only way, quote unquote, the only way, right? I'm not saying this is the only way from me, but this was his mentality, right? Quote unquote, the only way to you know, go through this without any problem, so it wouldn't pass on to his family, is that if he committed suicide, so all the debt and all that stuff would just disappear, which it did, you know, but at what cost? You know what I mean? Like, he passed away, right? And I don't know, like, can you say that passed away on someone that committed suicide? I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty fucked, you know. I believe he did this in New York, and I can't even imagine that. Like I feel like that's like, it's one of like the most movie style. Like I feel like you don't really hear that anymore on way people commit suicide, like jumping off a roof. Like I feel like you don't really hear that anymore, and I feel like it's just a weird thing. Like I really don't want to bring up like analogies and shit, but just it's not an analogy, but like like I don't know, just like imagine like just walking by, bro. I don't want to picture it. I really don't want to picture it. That's fucked up, right? But imagine just walking by down the street and just seeing a body just, I don't know, just splatter, bro. It's fucking, I know I shouldn't have said that, but I'm just saying, like, that was the case. He did this in public. He fucking jumped off. Someone could be walking fucking on the sidewalk and just randomly, the body starts flying down, yeah, dude, I mean, that's fucking wild. That's just crazy, just, I feel like that's the bad way to do it. It's a horrible way of doing it. There's so many other ways, not saying, I'm not recommending that you should do it either, right? But I'm just saying, from all the options, I feel like that's just the worst one. Especially for other people. Like, why do you want people to see that, right? But I guess he was that fucked up in the head, and that he just did not care, right? So for the next topic we have Kanye West ranting on Instagram, based on a lot of shit. The most recent one was about Adidas. Having meetings without him, basically, promoting new products without him that he did not want to be released, and they're still gonna release it. That is fuck, and I do support Kanye in that one. That's fuck, that Adidas are having meetings without him. They're like launching Yeezy shit without Kanye knowing. Like that's fucked up. And I definitely got Kanye's back on that, because he's a creative, and I'm the same way. So if they post some shit like that on me, bro, you definitely believe that I'm gonna fucking expose them on online and make sure that everyone knows about it. You know what I mean? But his more later post, like not later post, but his more like this is his post from last week, but I didn't talk about it on the podcast because I believe this happened the day after, which was a Thursday. He talked about his porn addiction, and fighting Kardashians. And he claims that the porn addiction destroyed his family in a series of bizarre, now deleted Instagram posts on Thursday night that somehow also referred to his children's school. Excuse me. Kanye West denied that his mental health was spiraling and said he was simply expressing undeniable truths as slagged off former wife Kim Kardashian's family, warning critics to shut the fuck up and go worry about your own kids. So yeah, Kanye West appears to be feuding once again with Kardashian, notably Kim, over the choice of school for their children, North St. Chicago and Slam, I believe that's how you say that name, and a number of posts. Kanye screenshotted text messages apparently from Kim pleading with him to stop, but he kept going. In his first post, he warned his followers to get your motherfucking popcorn. And I quote, "I'm dealing with wars at the highest levels of control and discrimination based on the level I am operating at," Kanye West claims. A conductor gotta turn their back to the audience to direct the orchestra. Oh, yay, crazy is as basic as fuck at this point. I'm simply right. I know girls who sell pussy that don't agree with how my daughters are displayed. Wow. I was driven crazy before. I'm not going crazy no more, he wrote in another. It's not up to Calabasas or Hulu where my kids go to school. I'm not the crazy one here. If this is the truth, then yeah. Because, if people don't know, Kim and the Kardashian family do have a show that are on Hulu. So Hulu may see it as more beneficial for them to be located there, because it's just easier to film, easier to shoot. But Kanye West is obviously not here for it, and just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, they're not the ones, who run this shit. I'm their parent. I'm the parent of this kid. They should not be fucking telling me what school they should go to and what school they should not. He also says, I won't stop until I have a say so on my kids no more, or no matter what it legally takes. Kanye began the thread by addressing Hillary Clinton and Mark Zuckerberg, asking, you gonna take me off Instagram? He declared in the same post, my kids going to Donda. They're not going to Sierra Canyon. Charlamagne the God and Chris, get your motherfucking popcorn. The second post included a screen grab from Kim asking, can you please stop? Kanye's response, which he posted with a popcorn emoji, no, we need to talk in person. You don't have a say of where the kids go to school. Why do you get a say? Because you half white? That's crazy. In another post he wrote, imagine not having any say on where your kids go to school, alongside a caption that read, I'm the kid's father. The post gained almost 135,000 likes in 15 minutes. Then the conversation took a turn. Posting a screen grab from an Instagram ad featuring Victoria Varel, Kylie Jenner's former assistant, Kanye wrote, don't let Chris make you do Playboy like she made Kylie and Kim do. I'm sorry if I'm coughing a lot. Excuse me. He continued, Hollywood is a giant brothel. Pornography destroyed my family. I deal with the addiction. Instagram promotes it. Not gonna let it happen to Northie in Chicago. Last year, Kim appeared to indicate she regretted her 2007 nude Playboy magazine shot, telling her younger self, I would say don't be so trusting. Kylie posted for the magazine in 2019. Okay. He then shared another screen grab, presumably from Kim, relaying a message from mom Kris Jenner, saying, please tell him to stop mentioning my name. I'm almost 67 years old, and I don't always feel great, and this stresses me to no end. That is pretty fucked, right? I mean, this does put a lot of stress on her. Kanye West replied, y'all don't have no y'all don't have no say over my black children and where they go to school. He warned they will not Playboy and sex tapes, and to tell your Clinton friends to come get me. I mean, sorry if I earwaved you. I was blowing wind from my laughter. He says, tell your Clinton friends to come get me. I'm here. Oh shit. In another post alongside a graphic of the words Travis Scott, he wrote, he is the only of the Kardashians' famous partners and exes to take on Kris. These are my brothers. I'm only one. I ever stand up to Kris, though. Come fight me. I love pain. So this one's crazy, right? He literally told Kris, come and fight me. What, dude? He literally told Kris Jenner, come and fight me. I love pain. Mind you, dude, she's 67 years old. He was like, come fight me. How would that matchup look like? Kanye West versus Kris Jenner on Triller. On the shittiest app. On the shittiest platform. After uploading still more, he posted the names of Kardashian paramours, past and present, including Tristan Thompson, Travis Scott, and Scott Disick. He quotes, calling my fellow cum donors, we in this together, he wrote. This was crazy. I remember when he was posting this. This was wild. He then added, ask Pete Davidson how those tattoos are my kids doing in the trauma unit. Oh my god, dude. This is funny as shit. I love Kanye, bro. This is wild. The posts were visible for approximately 1 hour before they were deleted from his feed. And And yeah, that's all of the posts. Up to date, do prepare for more, because I'm sure there'll be more. But yeah, let's get on to the next topic. So for the next topic for today, we have NBA 2K announces J.Cole as cover star for special Dreamer Edition. Yes. J.Cole has finally made his mark. He is now on the cover of NBA 2K. This is wild. And not only is he on the cover, he has his own edition, Dreamer Edition. Meaning that the storyline is connected to J. Cole and his story. This is fucking wild, man. I need to get this so bad. I need to record gameplay so y'all can watch, bro. This is amazing. I really enjoy this. This is really dope. So let me read from the Rookie Wire. With NBA 2K23 set to drop this month, the makers of this game have announced another special edition of the game. Grammy Award-winning artist J. Cole will grace the cover of NBA 2K23 Dreamer Edition. Cole is an accomplished musician as well as an avid basketball player. He suited up professionally in both Rwanda and Canada. The news of this new iteration of the game came alongside the unveiling of an expanded My Career mode that will allow players to add music, fashion, and businesses to their off-court career journeys. This continues efforts by the game's creators to underscore the connections basketball has with the broader culture. Quote, NBA 2K has long been a place to discover new musical talent through their game and continues to be a gold standard for their showcasing all the things basketball culture. J. Cole said of this collaboration, "It's been an amazing journey to not only appear on the cover of this year's game, but to be part of the My Career storyline, soundtrack, and bring the Dreamer brand into NBA 2K. And that's all you could really wish for, man. To bring your own brand into this field, into this universe. It's fucking amazing. The game is set to launch a brand new soundtrack with some of the globe's most widely recognized artists, including Drake, Jack Harlow, and Megan Thee Stallion. I am looking at the list currently, and it looks fucking amazing. You got Polo G on this on the soundtrack. You got Joey Badass. You got Ski Mask, Slump God. You got Lil Tecca. You got Rod Wave. You got IDK and Denzel Curry. You got Earth Gang. You got Coil Ray, Doja Cat, Destiny Rogers. You got K-Trana. You got Sleepily Hollow. You got JID. You got Corday, Vince Staples, Sculpt Daddy 4000. You got Mask Wolf. You got Dream Bill, of course. And yeah, there's so much more. But those are the big ones. 2K announced new songs will be added to the game every Friday. That's dope. Expanding the depth of the breadth of the soundtrack. Cole's Dreamville label was a major partner in building out the game's musical identity, and that's dope because they're musicians, so they know what the fuck people want. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you haven't seen the cover yet, I definitely recommend you check it out. It's fucking dope. It's like J. Cole is sitting on some clouds. He's sitting on like a levitating or flying basketball court with a bunch of clouds behind him. It's dope. It's a dope cover. Definitely check it out. Let's get right to the next topic. So for the next topic we have for today, we have Mr.Beast bringing chaos and confusion to New Jersey's most ridiculous mall. And that's the, I believe, the Mall of America, the biggest mall in America. So he opened up his first restaurant, Mr.Beast Burger. If people haven't tried it yet, definitely try it out. I haven't tried it out personally. I have seen and heard a lot of great reviews of it. Sadly, I believe it's only distributed in major cities like LA and other shit, so I haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but I definitely do plan on trying it one day. But this is dope, for a YouTuber to open his own restaurant. It's just so wild, right? It's just like, it can't only be me, right? Like, this is crazy. he on what was September 14th? On Sunday, he went in person to open up the store, obviously, right? And he was there for the whole day. And there was over like 10,000 people in the entire mall. There was so many people just crowding, just looking at him. There's so much security fucking, around this guy. But he was there the whole day doing photos, autographs. He was working right there in the restaurant. It's just, dude, you gotta love Mr.Beast. I don't understand how people could hate on this guy. Like, this is wild, bro. Even he said this was crazy. Like, he has a bunch of subscribers, followers, likes, views. He has all this shit. And he's like, dude, I'm always in the studio all day. I never get to see shit like this. So seeing 10,000 people just pulling up for this shit is fucking wild. And he even made a video when he was there. He was like, he was like, how I was telling you all to show up? Yeah, you might want to slow it down. There's too many people. You can easily find or pull up the photo online or on YouTube. You'll see clips of it or pictures. It looks fucking wild, bro. There are just so many people. Someone there has definitely gotten COVID or monkeypox. 100%. This was literally just insane. But yeah. So if you want to go to Mr.Beast's burger restaurant, you'll have to go all the way down to New Jersey. And if you're listening from New Jersey, then this is a easy drive for you. But if you don't, and if you live far from it, like I do, you'll definitely have to fly over there. Maybe plan out a weekend or some shit. Don't just go for the fucking restaurant, fly back. Obviously, that's so dumb. Plan out something so you can try it out. It'll be dope though. I don't know if I recommend going soon because I'm pretty sure it's pretty packed out right now. It may always be packed out, so don't really take my word for it. But I think especially now, there's a lot of people. But that's dope, that Mr.Beast finally has a restaurant. Like, it's a physical restaurant in a mall. That's fucking wild. And I can't believe they even allowed that. They allowed Mr.Beast to open up a restaurant, and not in just a mall, but the biggest mall in fucking America. That's wild. That is so wild to me. So yeah, dude, that is just crazy. He's definitely changing the world, bro. He's definitely changing how shit is done, on YouTube and all that shit. But yeah, he says, I didn't think it would be anything like this. Oh no, a security guard told Rolling Stone he didn't know it would be anything like this. 3,000 fans waiting in line early Saturday morning. This was the day before. There's 3,000 fans waiting in line. But now it has swelled to at least 10,000 bodies filling the walkways and blocking the few open storefronts entirely. This better be one good burger, someone said. There's fans with signs. There's fans, recording, taking photos. Just a bunch of shit. Yeah, a lot of fans. But yeah, man, that is there's a lot of wild stories that happen there. But I don't think I would be getting to all that. This is basically just I just wanted to talk about that. You know what I mean? But that is just so crazy that someone like like Mr.Beast can have his own restaurant. It's just so inspiring, and it's so dope to see that. I'm sure the burgers are good, But yeah, this pretty much sums up the whole podcast. And this is why I like doing this format, because if you made it this far, you realize that I talked about everything on my list. And that's dope. And that was the goal. So I really want to stick to this format. Again, leave a comment if you like this format better, so I could talk about everything on the list and not just 3 topics for the majority of the podcast. But yeah, just let me know, and I'll definitely be getting to you next week with more topics. And I released a gaming video yesterday, so go check that out. And I'll be posting a gaming video this Friday as well. My YouTube shorts right now are going crazy, so check it out. Check out my TikTok. We just hit 20,000 followers on TikTok, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. That's a round of applause right there. We finally hit 20,000 on TikTok. But still hit that follow button if you guys want more TikToks, if you want to be part of this journey. I'm telling y'all, man, it's so easy to follow right now and be an OG fan right now before my shit actually blows up even more. Just imagine saying and commenting when I'm at like 1 million followers or some shit like that. Being like, dude, I followed this guy when he was at 20,000 or some shit. Like, dude, just imagine saying that. So just hit that follow button right now, and I promise you won't regret it. It'll be the best decision you ever made in your fucking life. You know what I mean? And who knows? I may be doing giveaways. So if you follow right now, you may get something. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, all my links are in the description. And if you're, listening to this on a streaming platform, my YouTube is Unwanted Mind. My Instagram is Where Is Unwanted Mind. I post graphics down there every Friday. You can check out the ones I have up there right now. My TikTok's Unwanted Mind. And yeah, my Snapchat is FrankieMag21. I post exclusive content on there. More like daily life stuff you want to see up there. And I post my tweets on there. Or you can follow me on my Twitter, which is FrankMagana15. Whatever one is fine. Just make sure you hit that follow button. Leave a like on this podcast if you enjoyed it. And yeah, let's I'm excited for what next week holds. Because I didn't think that this podcast would top last week, and in my opinion it did. As far as topics, yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and peace. Have a great day.